You are welcome to this channel. Don't forget to give us your thumbs up. Make sure you like and also subscribe to our channel and share. In the news today, Primate warns Akpabio, saying removing Natasha from Senate will cost you. The leader of Inri Evangelical Spiritual Church, Primate on Friday warned the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, against ongoing plans to recall and battle Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpabio from the Senate. The Primate claimed that if Natasha is successfully recalled, it will cost the Senate President more than he can imagine. In a statement by his media aide Oluwatosin Osho, the popular prophet said a lot of things will come up from the Senate and that the highly exalted chamber will be washed down. According to Primate Ayodele, the removal of Natasha will cost the Senate president a lot. There will be a lot of things that will come out of the Senate. It will be dramatic, and this Senate will be reduced to a Senate of content. Primate Ayodele stated that the Senate will experience so much drama, like riots, punching of one another, disagreement, and some senators will not be allowed to speak to issues. He also revealed that senators will be against themselves while urging them to pray for peace and health and stability. Likewise, he revealed that Akpabio will still face more challenges, including disrespect, insult, and disregard from senators within his party. There will be riots, punches, and disagreements in the Senate because the minority will not be allowed to speak their mind. There are people who will be against others. There will be more drama in the Senate. The senators need to pray for peace and let all of them pray against cardiac arrest. Akpabio will still face more challenges. He will be disrespected and insulted by other senators, and the House will be divided. Well, that was a summation of the primate or Ayodele. That is the man who has always been doing one prediction or the other as regards current affairs and so many things that is going on in Nigeria. And is this time around warning the Senate President about the aftermath of the effect of recall of Natasha back from Kogi Central back to his people, and he's trying to say that even though that the recall is going on, it seems is the handiwork of a Senate President, the person of Godswill Akpabio, and probably Akpabio is biting more than what he can chew. He's trying to call Akpabio's attention to the fact that if he thinks he can, use his own power to make sure the senator is recalled, he too will not enjoy his remaining days in the office, knowing fully well that it's a very difficult task to get the buy-in of all senators to agree into the outright removal of Senator Natasha even from the Senate, because for sure some will be for them and some will be against it. Like those who are in the minority, of course, they are playing opposition and they want to stand with their party to also vehemently also stand against and reject the action of recall of this very senator. And also the backlash that is going to come after the action is, peradventure becomes successful, is going to be grave even for the Senate president. That was what Primate Elijah Ayodele is trying to tell the Senate president. He has, come out with a prediction that total removal or recall of Natasha will divide the House outrightly. We are not praying for such a thing to happen, because if the House is not cohesive, they won't be able to work well for Nigerians. But he made mention of some of the things that are in the negative that might eventually happen. He even said it will become a dramatic place where people will reduce the Senate to content. People on social media will begin to have a field day concerning the hallowed chamber or hallowed Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So we don't want such drama to come into play, like riot. He said it may be riot and be punching of one another. We are praying such things should not come back again. We remember sometimes ago, maybe it was in the Second or the Third Republic, that senators are fighting tooth and nail in our houses of assembly across Nigeria. I think our democracy has developed beyond that level. We are not praying to sink back into those dark times of not understanding what democracy is all about, where it seems as if civilization was still very, very far from us. No, we don't want such a thing. So Senator Akpabio should glean knowledge from what Primate Ayodele is saying and learn. Very, very important. The man also spoke about disagreement, as some senators will not be allowed to speak to issues. Of course, we've been seeing situations whereby a senator, Yaya Abaribe, had come out openly to tell the Senate president that he's not a dictator. Why will he ask some people not to talk, especially on issues of national importance? So it's easier even for the opposition or his perceived enemy now to capitalize on inability of his own will not to allow other senators to express themselves and begin to use that against him. Because for sure, the issue of Senator Akpabio and Natasha wouldn't have been a national discourse, but from the look of things, they are making it to become a very important thing in our national life. Why? Because a man is sitting on the seat of the Senate president, which is owned by Nigerians. It's a national seat. That's why Mr. Akpabio needs to be very, very careful. He shouldn't allow the Senate to degenerate into what the clergyman is describing here. We don't pray for such things because it's revealing that senators will be against themselves, and it's also urging them to pray for peace and health stability. Of course, when things like this begin to happen, the health of the people in the Senate will be called to question. Some of them, their health may fail because he made mention of cardiac arrest. I hope we are not losing any of them. But a word is enough for the wise from the prediction of the primate. Because if the Senate president didn't heed this warning, well, it's left to him to face the music. There is a popular saying, it's only a dog that heed the whistle or the instruction of the hunter that will not be lost in the forest. But if they refuse to heed the instruction, of course, it's going to be lost in the tsunami of what will eventually come, and it might be swept away politically and into oblivion forever. Imagine him facing disrespect, facing insult, facing disregard, even from senators within his own party, because these are some of the things this primate has said. It's an advice for me to, like I think the man who is talking or predicting is giving to Senator Akpabio to think twice before he takes this step, or else, of course, he will face the music all alone. Remember to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to like and make sure you share. Thank you.